Miscellaneous minds, never explaining the minds. Devilish grin for my alias, aliens who respond. Peddling sin, thinking maybe when you get old you realize I'm not gonna fold or demise. I don't smoke crack, motherfucker, I sell it.
What is going on, everybody? This is the Miscellaneous Minds podcast. I'm your co-host, Boomer God to the cat, the hands of your price fight back. And to my left over here is the main man, he's Houston Air, the man that makes the fat stats. Together we're from the dynamic duo that won't die. Deadly ideas, brother, and spicier content than your girl's OnlyFans.
What is going on, everybody? Before we get into tonight's topic, please make sure to like, comment, hate, subscribe, DM us about the bullshit. And with that, let's get right into it. So, we got a bit of a surprising announcement, but a good one. A good one. David Benavidez and David Morrell have agreed to fight. And listen, this is why I tell you, this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. The Paulo Malinages of the world said David Benavidez is never going to take that fight the same way that Canelo is never going to take the David Benavidez fight. And here goes proof that people like him don't know what the hell they're talking about. Listen, when I saw David Morrell constantly calling out David Benavidez, I thought, you know what? Given the guy that David Benavidez is, David Benavidez don't shy away from no fights, man. There was no world where I didn't think he was going to take it. You know, Paulo Malignaggi and the such made arguments that essentially David Benavidez was running from David Morrell, and he wouldn't fight him because there's too much to lose, blah, blah, blah. And here he is. Now, with that being said, this is going to be a good fight. I'm excited for it. I think David Morrell brings enough skill, enough, not just skill, but enough of the things that could trouble a fighter like Benavidez. Enough of a combination of things that could trouble a fighter like David Benavidez. David Benavidez does a lot of combinations. He's not known as like the biggest, the heaviest puncher, whereas David Morrell is very slick. David Morrell brings a lot of skill, a lot of things that could trouble someone very specifically like David Benavidez. That being said, hey, applause to him, man. Round of applause for David Benavidez for taking this fight. I think it's going to be a great fight. I think it's going to be interesting to see how each one of them adapts to the other. The combinations of David Benavidez definitely are going to trouble David Morrell regardless. That being said, again, David Morrell is very slick, so maybe he can negate the combinations of David Benavidez. I'm not 100% sure. This is really just more of like our initial thoughts to kind of give you our initial reaction as to this. I'm not surprised that the fight is happening. I'm just glad that it is. There was never a moment in time where I doubted that this fight could be potentially made. Again, David Benavidez and David Morrell, they're both chasing after the biggest fights. And I'm very happy that it's happening because it definitely, I'm sure, sticks in the craw of people like Paulo Malignaggi, which I'm not a fan of because I feel like he does a whole lot of talking for a person that didn't do a whole lot to begin with. It is what it is, man. It's going to be an interesting fight. I'm very excited to see it. As the fight gets closer, we're obviously going to be giving you more of our take, more of a breakdown of the fight itself and what we believe is going to happen. At this juncture, man, it's good to see a lot of these fights being made because it seems for a long time there was a dry spell where the biggest fights weren't happening. But now, man, you know, lo and behold, all the big ones are being made, and this David Morrell versus David Benavidez is another one of those good ones that you got to tune in and watch because this one will have fireworks, guarantee you. Unless David Morrell chooses to take the slicker side of the fight, it's going to be a fireworks type of fight, and it'll be interesting. And here's the thing, I'll be honest with you, at this particular juncture, it's a pretty even fight. David Morrell brings enough skill to the game to where he can negate a lot of David Benavidez, but never count out David Benavidez, man. David Benavidez is tenacious. He sticks to his combination. He lays down a lot of them when he can get you, and for him it happens a lot, so it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. What do you think about that, my man?
I could definitely say it came as a surprise to me just because, again, it seems like with the amount of fights that we've been keeping up or whatever, some things, kind of fall by the wayside, news-wise or whatever. Then when I saw this, and I remember when you messaged me the news, I'm like, oh shit, that fight's actually finally being made. So, I understand the accusations that were levied against Dave Benavidez. The accusations that he was ducking this fight, but I think it was more so because it's not so much that he was ducking the fight because he was afraid of David Morrell. I think it was just more so he was obviously chasing the Canelo fight much more, and the consequence was that he wasn't really taking up a fight with David Morrell, and it just happened to look like he was ducking that. So I'll give him benefit of the doubt that he was more so chasing Canelo more so than he was running away from David Morrell. It just happened to be the unfortunate consequence when you're trying to chase a big fight like that. But yes, it actually absolutely is exciting. Again, Dave Benavidez has been on a big comeback as of late with his last, what was it, 4 fights ever since he came back. And again, you look at you look at Morell's resume. You look that he's had 11 fights. 9 of them were by KO. I think his second to last one was by unanimous decision. But you look at his resume; it's been nothing but KO, TKO, another KO. And again, Dave Morell is having that phenomenal run, and I can understand the explosive resume that he's had. Yeah, it can prove to be the fall of David Benavidez. But again, they just seem like they're at that. Even if David Benavidez is on a higher level, it just seems like it's one of those like freak fights where just like it might prove to be a downfall, it might not. But again, it's one of those things that you're gonna have to tune into to the fight to see what's gonna happen. I'm absolutely pumped for it.
Yeah, man. I'll be honest with you. I think the reason that at this particular juncture, I think David Benavidez has a little bit more of an advantage over Morell is David Benavidez has faced higher tier opposition than David Morell. Yes, David Morell has been on a streak, knocking people out, TKOs, knockouts, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But he hasn't faced the same level of competition as David Benavidez has. So this is, at least in my opinion, David Morell's step up into the major league, so to speak. He's already a pro fighter, so obviously he's already in the major leagues, but this is his first time facing A-tier competition. So it'll be interesting, man. It'll be a good fight. Again, as the fight gets closer, we're definitely going to give you more of our thoughts, give you more of a breakdown, and what we believe is going to happen. We'll, give you our picks at that particular time. But yeah, man, it'll be interesting. Good fight. Definitely tune in to watch it. It's going to be an amazing fight. Fireworks are going to fly one way or the other. It'll be interesting. And, shout out to David Benavidez for taking the fight because I do believe that this is a dangerous fight for him. And obviously the fact that he's been chasing the Canelo and proving why he deserves the Canelo fight, this could be a little bit of a, if he doesn't do good, this could be a notch against him to get that fight. But either way, we'll see. We'll see. It'll be interesting. Now with that, make sure to like, comment, hate, subscribe, DM us about the bullshit, and
Until next time, get rest and stay blessed. We'll see you in the next one.